Alright, so before I start painting this turbo for a friend and subscriber of mine, I did want to give everyone a huge shout out that donated. You guys are awesome. It's really helping us out. I put all that money into our savings so we can get a better house with a garage and I can get better content out for you guys. At the end of this video, I'll put everyone's name who donated so far as a huge thank you to you guys. Keep up the good work, hitting the like button and commenting. If you don't have money to donate, I totally understand. It's not required. It just helps the channel a lot, and I've been putting a lot of money and time into the channel to help get you guys good content, so anything helps. So I really appreciate it. But here we go. Let's get started painting this. Welcome to Texas Honda Channel. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. So this turbo right here is the one I installed whenever the Civic was automatic. If you don't remember, there will be a link in the description for the video on how to turbo your Civic and keep AC. This is the turbo I had on there. I'm actually selling it to a friend and subscriber of mine. So he wanted me to paint it VHT Wrinkle Plus. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I've already cleaned it the best I could. We're gonna scuff it with some 320 and then we're gonna shoot the wrinkle black over it. Now this turbo is a TD05H 16G 4G63T Eclipse turbo. It's the factory turbo. It's a really good turbo. It spools really fast, and I even considered putting it back on my car, but I decided not to. But CRX Jojo, he's going to be getting this. He's located here in Texas, and he'll be putting it on his B18 CRX. So I'm going to go ahead and start scuffing it and go ahead and put the Wrinkle Plus on. If you guys haven't seen on my James D Guy channel, I did my turbo black the same way I'm doing this one. If you use a heat gun to heat up the wrinkle paint, it does help. But another method that works before you put the wrinkle on is heating the part up that you're painting so that the wrinkle effect takes place a little bit quicker. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, now that we've heated it up, we're just gonna spray it on. That's pretty much how easy it is to get the wrinkle paint to lay down. Now we're going to go ahead and heat this up, and then once that is wrinkled up, we'll go ahead and hit it with another coat. Now that that is pretty much dry, it's not fully cured, not fully dry, but we're going to go ahead and put another coat on. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and heat it up, and once this is dry, we'll be good to take everything off. Now, right here is chipped off. I dropped it, but it's not gonna affect performance in any way. It's just on this outer part. You could even chop that off and it wouldn't be any different. But this is what I'm sending to him. Blow off valve, the dump tube, the down tube off of the turbo. You can use it for intake side too, I think. The down pipe, which this is the little down pipe where the O2 sensor goes, and the wastegate screamer tube. Now the wastegate screamer tube won't be functional for the setup the way he's going to be running it, so he'll just be using the down pipe, but this piece right here could literally be chopped off or routed into the exhaust. Either way, it's not going to be used, and I'll explain that in a minute. Sending him some stickers, some air fresheners, Texas Honda Channel merch. These smell similar to black ice, but they're not exactly like black ice. And they don't stay strong very long, but they look cool, so I'm gonna send some of those. No risk, no reward. some stickers so he can put them on some things, get the word spread about Texas Honda Channel. Oil feed line, the T-piece that goes in the back of the block, the gasket, the oil return that you can drill 2 holes and weld or bolt in instead of weld in. And yeah, everything's good. Now on the exhaust side of this, see here there's a little flapper. This can be welded shut right here, and he's gonna run an external wastegate, so all the exhaust will come out of here. It won't come out of this spot over here. Sorry for the train in advance, it's gonna get really loud, but all the exhaust will come out of this port, which will come out of here. So I'm gonna get this shipped to him, and we'll go over some more details. As for an update on the Civic, I did my second oil change. So I put Rotella T4 15W40. It's thicker. I have some loose clearances in here, so with that, this is really good oil, and it flows really good. Has good thermal breakdown, so it actually is recommended for diesel engines, and that's what I like to use in these because they can take the extreme heat from the turbo. Everything's still looking good, sounding good, running good. I did throw the 525s back in like I had told you guys in a previous video. All the issues are sorted out now, and I'll explain that in just a second. But the 1000 cc's that were in here, I'm sending them off to get flow tested, cleaned in Killeen. A guy named Poncho does them, and he's really good with what he does. Here's his Facebook page. He's going to be cleaning them, and yeah, so before we throw those back in, I'll make sure they're cleaned and flow tested and doing good so we have no other issues or hiccups. But clutch is holding strong. Forged rods are holding strong. These are the max peating rods. The no notch don't hold as much power as the notchable rods like this. You had to notch the block. So I prefer the ones where I have to notch the block just because they hold more power. Not sure the power it's pushing yet, but we'll get it dynoed real soon. We're just trying to work out all the bugs before we get on the dyno. Ended up having to cut a 2-inch hole in my hood because this was rubbing the hood really bad. So fixed that problem. I had an issue with my AEM wideband gauge. It wasn't reading properly, so we got a new sensor, and it still wasn't reading correctly because you have a voltage offset on Hondata. The gauge was reading fine, but the computer was not. So if it said 12.2 on the gauge, it said like 14 on the computer, and we tried messing with every possible voltage offset, and it still wasn't working. I spent from 2 p.m. all the way till 4 a.m. with a break in between trying to figure this out. We had both wideband gauges going, trying to figure this all out. It ended up coming from a subscriber who recommended it, and I'll put his name on screen. A huge thank you to that person because I did that. I ran it from A25 ground and A26 power source, and all my voltage offsets were easy to adjust, and now it's working good. Took it out for a pull. It's on 23 pounds of boost on the 525cc injectors, but these injectors are at 100% duty cycle, so we actually have to back the boost down a little bit. Air fuel ratios are looking good. They're around 11.5 to 12.1, which is perfectly fine for me. Plenty of power there. But yeah, so it's doing pretty good. I got to go and clean it up. Running on this oil, the engine is a little bit quieter than it was before because it does have a little noise to it. Adjusted all the valves, all that's good. So I ordered these about 2 weeks ago, finally got them, and this will be in my next video, just doing the solid shifter bushings. Really simple install, but I figured I'd do a video for you guys, more content. But she's running strong. We're gonna put the 1000 cc's in soon, and everything's looking good. Once this oil change is done, I'll be going to the 15W40 full synthetic Rotella. I think it's Rotella T6 or T4 full synthetic. Can't remember the exact one. I like to use T6 5W40, but with my loose clearances, I prefer the thicker stuff because it has a better film strength and stuff like that. And it makes the engine a little quieter. So it's a win-win. It's also pretty cheap. But running a K&N oil filter. As you can see, it's a K&N oil filter. I'll be keeping this oil in here for about 2 to 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever one comes first, and then we'll be draining it out, and that's when we'll move up to the full synthetic. So everything's doing great. I'm happy with it. Just wanted to say again, thank you everyone who donated. All that money went straight into the bank account, and it's helping getting us out of here. We've already had to go through and pack a bunch of stuff up and get rid of a bunch of stuff, so I'm selling some parts. If anybody wants D16 Z6 ARP head studs, I tried them on. They do not fit this engine, the D16 Y7 or Y8. But if you have a D16Z6 and you want them, message me on Instagram, instagram.com/TexasHondaChannel. And anyone who donated, send me a message or an email at texashondachannel@gmail.com proving that you donated to me, and I will send you an air freshener and a sticker as my way of saying thank you. I really appreciate everyone who's helped us out by hitting the like button, dropping comments. So it's really helping us grow, and we are really in a tight spot right now money wise. My wife's been working hard. I've been working literally 3 different jobs trying to get the money, and it's just been tough right now, tough times. So hopefully when we move, everything will settle out and we'll be good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate everyone out there that has helped and interacted with me, and there'll definitely be more stuff coming, so definitely stay tuned. But till then, God bless, and I'll see you then.